Milim just betray us? Okay, intruder detected. Oh god. Milim's out here with dagger eyes. Rimuru, I'm sorry. What the fuck? What a bait. Alrighty, so it's time for some more TenSura. Make sure you leave a like on this video, show your support, subscribe, and ring the bell if you haven't already. And the Patreon, you can catch my full live reactions to all this TenSura greatness and more. Let's jump into it. Oh, right, forgot about that. But to her, it was something from a childhood, right? My whole... Rimuru just straight up had to avoid the concept of, don't worry about it, I'd be storing the food in my holes. Oh no. The Leviathan is here. Oh shit! Oh fuck, it is. Oh god. Well, sure, I expect by the end we win this. If you don't think this thing's gonna cause a fucking ruckus on Tempest, you are ignorant as fuck. Wait! She's the intruder? I mean, everyone has their beliefs they're fighting for, right? Just because they're at conflict with us doesn't necessarily make them evil, it just means we're at odds with our beliefs. Once again, people don't actually pay attention to what they watch. They look at things at very surface level, and they look at it like, oh, this is Natsu in Fairy Tail, he's always gonna win. It's not guaranteed. It's likely, but it's not guaranteed. So we have the Chaos Dragon. The Chaos Dragon has been revived, and that is emotionally devastating for a character like Milim, given her connection and everything, but I thought it was actually a pretty effective little foreshadowing from earlier when you see the painting or the carvings on the wall, and it kind of tells the story. For most people looking, it would be mostly a fairy tale, but for Milim, something from her past, only for it to be revived as this demonic zombie. But I will admit, she had me for a second, because prior, moments prior, like a minute or two before the Chaos Dragon is here, right? We basically are talking about how there's a traitor amongst the mix, right? Like, the alarms are going off, someone's about to betray us, and Milim does her side eye and says, I'm sorry, Rimuru. That fucked me up. I really was like, okay, what in brainwashing tarnation is going on here that she's about to betray us? But no, she's, just honestly, she has to draw up her facade, which actually happens earlier in the episode where she puts it back on. That cheerful girl that we always know is back, and right now, this is her. There's no gimmick, there's no mask. It is just emotionally draining and devastating. As once again, you got to take care of someone that you deeply care for, even if they're being manipulated and a husk of their former self. Throughout the season, I've highlighted how this is a very deadly looking season. I mean, hell, the opening showed a fucking dragon running amok. Now we know what dragon going to be doing that. And of course, there's always going to be those people who will say, we got nothing to worry about. It's Rimuru. I watch Fairy Tail. I know these characters always survive, forgetting the fact that characters have died in the show. Even if they've been revived doesn't change the fact that, Rimuru and his people are not indestructible. Hell, the previous season saw Rimuru get defeated. Like, it's just, there are people who I do think watch the show with their eyes closed. And they just say, la 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 la, everything gonna work out. Everything about this show, especially this season, has showed that Rimuru is concerned about things. Hell, at the end of the episode, when Yuuki and the gang are standing off, right? What you end up seeing is the four of them ready to throw hands. And you know what we end up seeing? We don't see a Rimuru who's confident he's gonna win this fight. We see a Rimuru who's actually nervous. And if you pay attention to his face while the scene plays, you actually see him a little shaken. Now, does Rimuru think he's gonna lose for sure? Of course not. Rimuru knows he's gonna have to get serious and there's gonna be some bloodshed. But at the end of the day, when your main character is constantly reminding you. Now, yes, he's not explicitly saying, I am scared, so some people overlook it, which is fine. But you really gotta pay attention fully with the medium you're watching. If you're reading a book, typically you'll have more internal monologue because you don't have a visual cue to see how a character's feeling. With an anime, with a live-action TV show, you have facial expressions, you have body language and reaction. Rimuru is worried. Do I think Rimuru's dying? No. But am I supposed to be concerned that Rimuru and his four pals, well, I guess he's considered with the four, right? Because it's a 4v4. Yeah, you are supposed to be a little concerned. And that's what's fun about this, is that despite being now 4 seasons into TenSura, we can still find ways to be worried about our main character or his allies around him. And that's why this show still has stakes. Now, outside the stakes and the intensity, they actually had quite a bit of fun with the dungeon crawling. I mean, I'm a huge fan of that. I mean, we started the season off with the Coliseum, and I thought that was very fun because that's my type of anime. It's my jam, right? And watching him go through this and just casually solve endgame level puzzles, them all in the background taking notes, because of course we got a talented voice in our head who can help us solve anything. And he's like, oh shit, this is like supposed to be like their big mission, and I got so in the mode, and I was like, okay. It's fun though, right? I like how supportive they were too. And throughout the whole time, like, you're basically waiting for the shoe to drop. Which one of them's going to betray us? Which one's going to do something nefarious? But then throughout watching it, like, nothing bad truly happens. But unfortunately, they were waiting for us to get to the lowest part where things were going to pop off. Now, this is a very long TenSura season. Now, it's not completely back-to-back cores, but they funded like 5 or 6 cores with this. I forget the exact amount. And knowing that we have so much left to adapt for this whole batch of episodes that are being produced, I'm excited to see what they do, because at the end of the day, right, I've been no stranger to saying that Maribel is the most interesting antagonist I think we've had so far, and the most complex. I definitely think people still overlook, because when people watch a lot of shows like these, they just put themselves in their own shoes about what we know as a whole about the show, rather than if you were to put yourself in her shoes and what they know. I mean, her actions do make logical sense for the information given and the lack of pushback she's felt up to that point. And I think in terms of an opening hand, a Chaos Dragon is a pretty big dick play. This doesn't feel like someone who's just going to immediately challenge 2 Demon Lords and get her ass handed. Do I think she'll get her ass handed by the end? Probably. But if somehow she pulls off an unexpected victory and we gotta regroup, I also could understand why, because she isn't being stupid about things. Whether it's me being like, hey, this is why I'm concerned about guns, magical bullets, and characters with skills. I'll get people's whose deflection is, yeah, but unless it's magical bullets, we don't have to be concerned. And I'm like, that's just what I fucking said. It's a very interesting fandom, to put it nicely. I still think it's hilarious, though, that we told her to change into a different outfit because we gave her a new outfit last week and we didn't want her to get it dirty, and for some reason she doesn't have a safari outfit. Like, why? Why does everyone get a safari outfit but her? Could you imagine one of these outfits on her busting out? I see the potential is what I'm saying, goddammit. Great episode. Really, really great episode. They had me concerned. They had me, this is literally the definition of they had me in the first half, not gonna lie. I was like, oh fuck, how did they brainwash Milim of all characters? And if that's possible, then anything's possible. And then instead they decided to do the emotional heartbreak of like, oh god, can't even be her cheerful self anymore. She has to be intense because of the bullshit at hand. There's gonna be a lot of destruction, minimum, and I assume there's going to be a lot of death, because I mean the opening kind of shows a whole city being burned, bruh. I mean, it's very, very likely a lot of innocents are going to be caught up in the crossfire. It's just a matter of what the sacrifices will look like when it's all said and done, by the time we deal with not only a Chaos Dragon but all the bullshit at hand. There's also the possibility, of course, that Yuuki, is he actually being brainwashed? Is he waiting his moment? It's possible. I don't really have a strong opinion one way or another, but I understand the speculating there because of everything going on. Him pretending to be brainwashed, but then, you know, working with Rimuru because he sees Rimuru as more of like a, hey, I'm not going to be able to beat this guy, so if I'm his ally, it works out better for me, is definitely a possibility. My main focus and worry is, of course, on that Chaos Dragon and the sacrifices that will happen. It's easy to make an argument, you know, how could a character like Milim be defeated? It's also easy to see how it can emotionally affect her, and a cheap shot could get in and annihilate her. Do I think it will happen? No, but you are supposed to be concerned, which a lot of people, for some reason, never are, even though there's been plenty of moments to prove why we should be concerned, you know? Let me know your thoughts down below, though. What did you think of this week's episode? I thought it was fan-fucking-tastic. But your thoughts, leave a like, share your support, subscribe, ring that bell, and of course, Patreon, full live reactions over there and other exclusives, because you know I got to give this video shout-outs too, because my patrons make it all possible over here on YouTube. Alright, so today we've got Ryan Kahalili, Jessica L. Compton, Ishta, Mauve, Jarl Brogrove, Omar, Jay Vorty, Daniel Costco, Archivist, and we also have Elena. So I appreciate the support. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.